Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show. So much going on across North Central Netball. Some big games tomorrow and some very important fixtures having been played out in round 10 last weekend. And to tell us all about it is Kylie Walsh, the president of the association. Kylie, so good to be with you again. How are you?
Good, thank you, Alice. Yourself?
Not doing too badly at all. And, well, there were some pretty exciting games last weekend, to put it lightly. Let's talk about Ngullawal's game against Birchip, Watcham, and Kylie. I think the underdogs got this one, particularly on the road, 36-37, Birchip Watcham's way.
It was. Yes, the Bulls proved me tips wrong, so congratulations to them. But, yeah, as we both mentioned last week, it was a muchly anticipated game, and it was really gusty wind conditions on Saturday, and both teams had to settle into the conditions and capabilities quite quick. Birchip Watcham managed to gain some breathing space at half time, and fit Bulls youngster Gemma Ryan was a quiet achiever through the centre. She was working hard within a role and picking up some tips along the way. It was strange to witness Ngullawal attacking and falter slightly and losing their timing and confidence in the circle. But full credit to Ngullawal, they managed a within reach chasing a 5-goal deficit in the third break. Ngullawal then altered their game book, and they created a bit more ball movement to gain space and a closer range to the ring. Whereas the Bulls, on the other hand, found their confidence and sensed Ngullawal's hesitation, and they managed to hold their focus with the dwindling minutes of the game. It was very exciting, and despite Ngullawal chasing them down, Bulls snuck home with a one goal win over Maroons, as you said, 37-36.
Well, you speak of exciting, Kylie, and we got the same type of theme in the Witchy-Narraport-Donald game. Not a whole lot in it, just 5 goals, but the home side too good.
Yeah, that's right. And I think after last week's bye, which Chris Narraport went into the game with a new line-up to what they had in round 8, and they tried some new combinations both ends at the court with experience and knowledge mixed with youth and freedom of play. The combination of Nikita Nunn and Libby Thompson worked really well together, spreading the load and pressure. The usual flow of goals from the Funk cousins was stemmed with Gossett Page Arnell, not allowing an easy reward in the ring. So Donald switched some of their roles, bringing very agile young Delaney Mortlock out of defence and into the centre, and placing more experience back in the circle. So that adjustment seemed to appear very successful for Donald, and it was, I believe, a very tense final quarter, but it wasn't enough for Donald taking that deficit from earlier in the game, and that allowed the Demons to win over the Royal Blues 46-41.
A very forgettable day out for the Sea Lake Nandali Tigers, Kylie, because Bort had a day out, and people obviously would have predicted this result, but by the margin that we got in the end, I don't know. 19-89, the final score. How did the Sea Lake Nandali Tigers bounce back from this one?
Yeah, look, it would have been a tough game, and Bort seemed to go in at full throttle each quarter, and Stephanie Wilson certainly stands for authority in the goaling, having a goaler's dream in the circle. But yeah, I hope the Tigers met any of their goals they might have set for themselves for the game, but Bort certainly dominated the day with the win, like you said, 89-19.
And just looking at our last game from round 10, Kylie, we had Charlton v Wedderburn Redbacks, and only 10 goals in this one, but Wedderburn too good in the end. Another close call for Charlton. They're certainly putting the mileage in, but just not really reaping the rewards.
Yeah, that's right. This would have been another great game, and despite the umpiring testing on the sideline, I believe the scoreline swung like swings and roundabouts, and it took a while for them to settle into the game. And I think the slightly altered more mid-court for Charlton from the previous week allowed them to settle into the 7-goal lead at the first break. And then Redback seems to regroup and refocus, particularly spreading the load across the mid-court and creating a variety in the goal ring. This movement seems to be beneficial for the Redback, winning the second quarter, but still chasing a goal from the Navy's. Big pressure from Courtney Gleeson and Tess Jackson appeared to close the avenues of opportunities for Charlton's Chloe Walsh and Claudia Lee, but the mid-court play must have been intense and fast-paced, and possession was hard to achieve and maintain. But Wedderburn seemed to find their rhythm and composure in the final quarter, winning by 10 goals over Charlton, like I said, 63-53. But I'm told that both should be congratulated on a wonderful display of netball. And also congratulations to those involved in the C-grade badge testing. I believe it was a successful day all round.
Well, looking at the table, Bort look very comfortable, and they're going to be hard to knock off their perch, that is for sure. Let's take a look at round 11. Kylie, just want some very quick tips off you here. So St Arnaud up against Nullarbor at home. Nullarbor, you'd be pretty comfortable tipping them ordinarily, but a shock result last weekend.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just on the Nully train with this one, Alice. Nullawar's got a long trip to St Arnaud, but I guess after previous years of travelling to Hay, this isn't a long trip. But I think Nullarbor will regroup from last weekend and from their uncharted territory of hesitation with the ball, but I think they'll have a quite comfortable win over in St Arnaud.
Well, if you're going to tip Sea Lake Nandali over Birchip Watcham, you might as well tip my West Coast against St Kilda this weekend. Yeah, let's not beat around the bush there, Kylie. You're only going for one side there.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I think Birchip will be up there. Birchip Watcham will be upbeat after last week. Galpin now also taking the ladder position on their own. So, yes, I think they'll have a comfortable win over the Tigers.
You'd hope Charlton can give Bort a game, but you'd be pretty brave to think they can beat them.
Yeah, I agree. I think Charlton bring confidence from last week's game, and they know their capabilities in tight games. And I think they'll be focused like Bort, but I don't believe the final score will represent the quality of this game, but Bort will certainly come home with a win over.
Well, the last game to discuss is certainly harder to tip. So Wedderburn up against Witchy Narraport. Who gets up in this one?
Well, I'm going to call this as match of the round. I think both sides have had an ups and downs to date and tinkering with a few combinations, but I think both will have confidence in their combinations after last weekend, and they're able to flip their positions accordingly. So this will be a ripper of a game, and I think it'll be as tight as what it was in round 2 against the both, and I think it'll come down to the wire with Wedderburn a tight win with a minor score over the Demons, but I could be tipped to wrong.
Donald with the bye. Kylie Walsh, President of the North Central Netball Association. Always so thankful for your time and efforts here on Fly FM. Enjoy the netball and stay warm.
Thank you. I'll try my best.